Hello, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is the day where we talk tech in easy to understand language to help you apply those things to your daily life and to your business. I'm here with my friend and colleague, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and welcome to Tech Life Weekly. We always like to begin this day with a little history about tech. So we're going to have Fran bring us up to date from the past about this week in tech history.
Hey, welcome everybody live on the replay. Those who are in the clubhouse, coming to the clubhouse. Thank you, Terry. And let us start out with July 1st, 1979.
Mm-hmm.
The first Sony Walkman, the TPS L2, goes on sale in Japan. It would go on sale in the US about a year later by allowing owners to carry their personal music with them. The Walkman and their iconic headphones introduced a revolution in listening habits and popular culture at large. I remember having one of those.
I think I've got one sitting over here on the shelf somewhere. It's like the kids just leave their stuff. You know what I mean? It's like,
And
what is this?
the Walkman was a cassette too. It wasn't. That was really interesting because cassettes was the thing where music was
I
being
think the one I
played.
have plays a CD.
Right, that's the next iteration of the Sony Walkman. But the first one
Was
out
a
the
CD
gate
player.
was a cassette.
Mm.
I'm
Wow.
like, wow. And the United States didn't get it until 1980. That wasn't that far ago.
No,
And
really isn't.
CDs are no longer a thing. Okay. On July 2nd, 1953, IBM announced its 650 series of computers, the first mass-produced computer and the dominant computer of the decade. The IBM 650 stored information on a rotating magnetic drum and received it on programmed punch cards. Its memory stored numbers with up to 10 decimal digits.
Wow. That is what they were operating when they started launching rockets, right? They still had that big
Right.
boom size computer.
And nobody knew how to program it and get it to
How
run.
can you get it in the door?
Couldn't get it in the door, didn't know how to make it run.
We didn't know Fortran. It was just crazy.
Correct. July 3rd, 1969, UCLA issues a press release stating that it will become the first station in a nationwide computer network, which for the first time will link together computers of different makes and using different machine languages into one time-sharing system. It went on to say that creation of the network represents a major step forward in computer technology and may serve as the forerunner of large computer networks of the future. There was a typo.
Oh,
This was the first step in creating what was known as the internet. The first transmission on that newly created internet wasn't actually sent until October 29th. I'm like, okay, very good.
Now, before you go on,
Uh-huh.
Mark says he just got rid of his Walkman. he says, I got rid of my Sony Walkman cassette a couple of years ago. It was here in the archives of my life.
Yeah, sure. That might be worth some money, anyway.
Some of those original electronics.
It's like, where where do you where did they all go? You know what I mean? Like,
That's a good question.
because this all this tech had to go somewhere in a landfill someplace.
You know what my question is? How much of it is recyclable as far as motherboards and things like that and circuitry? Hmm.
Yeah, there are some computer companies like Apple who have um, ask you to recycle it so that they can go back and pull the uh,
The
components
parts. Yeah,
and
exactly.
reuse them. Yeah, because plastics may live forever. Who knows? July 4th, 1956, MIT's Whirlwind, which had been completed 5 years earlier, becomes the first computer in the world to allow its users to enter commands through a keyboard. Previously, all input was accomplished through dials, switches, and/or punch cards. That's major
Mhm.
because if you had to have dials, switches, and punch cards, that's an extra thing that you have to keep up with. It's bad
Yeah.
enough keeping up with a mouse.
Yes. Hello, Carlos. Mm-hmm. Hello,
July
Mark.
July 5th, 1923. I did say 1923. How is that, like 100 years ago?
That's 100 years.
Wow. Kodak introduces the hand crank Cine Kodak Model A, the first complete 16 millimeter film system. 16
Mm.
millimeter film was developed to be an amateur alternative to the 35 millimeter film most often used by professionals. However, it found widespread use during World War II and later for television production, especially TV news. 16 millimeter film is still used today for certain applications. And Carlos can probably weigh in on that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, wow.
Wow. I wonder if that's what those newsreels were on. You
Yeah.
know how you see those,
And they're kind of grainy and
yeah, from the
yeah,
old days. Mm-hmm.
right. And that was Kodak, 1923. That was 100 years ago.
Streaming. No.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
July 6, 1995, IBM completes a 3.5 billion with a B buyout of Lotus Development, the producer of the once dominant Lotus 123 spreadsheet software and the then
Mm.
popular Lotus Notes groupware. IBM had hoped to leverage Lotus 123 to challenge the increasingly demanded Microsoft Excel software. But
Wow.
alas, there was a little slowing down the Microsoft juggernaut during the 1990s. Lotus 123 steadily lost market share, and IBM finally announced the end of the support for the software in 2013.
Wow.
I'm going to read this last part. It says Lotus Notes groupware of I've never heard of Lotus Notes anyway. Fared a little better than 123, succumbing to Microsoft Exchange as the dominant groupware platform among large companies, but it remained entrenched among certain corporations for many years under the name IBM Notes. In 2018, IBM sold Notes along with other software products to HCL Software for $1.8 billion.
Mm.
HCL still develops and supports Notes to this day with a focus on security and lower cost as a way to compete with Microsoft Exchange.
Wow. Well, all I know is Carlos says he loved Lotus 123. Okay, well, somebody evidently is familiar with it.
I've heard of Lotus 123.
I've heard of it, but I
Familiar
never.
with, I wasn't familiar with Notes. And here's the thing, was it that easy to use? If people, I understand, I remember it being there, but was it easy to use? Because Excel was very easy to, even though Excel is still a little could be daunting for people, at least you were able to use it.
Okay. Well, Mark says Lotus Notes is what we had when I worked at PwC. I had forgotten all about it. Okay.
Okay, so here's my observation on these two. They spent 3.5 billion with a B
Mm-hmm.
to buy something that was less popular than the going thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they put 3.5 billion into it. They bought it out. Lotus was probably happy. Like, woo, we out of that. And
I
now
would have been.
IBM has it, but it is not picking up traction. You know what I mean? It's not a
Mhm.
good, I don't know what the thinking was. I don't know if it was just gambling. Well, that's 3.5 billion in 1995. How much
Wow.
is
I
that
think
today?
Mark and Carlos found out they both worked at PwC.
Oh, wow. I don't know what PwC is, but okay.
No idea.
Enlighten us. Okay, so anyway, I'm
Oh,
just thinking, go
it
ahead.
was royal surveillance, he says. Or was it royal S- Sun Alliance?
Okay,
Hmm.
okay. So and the thing is that these people and then HCL turned around and bought it from IBM
Oh, okay.
for 1.8 billion in 2018. That's a lot of money
Hmm.
with a B.
Price Waterhouse Coppers.
Oh,
Okay.
got it, got it, got it. Okay, I was like, who, what? Okay, very interesting. All right, here's another story. July 6, 1996, America Online settles 11 class action lawsuits alleging misleading billing practices. Among the claims raised against AOL were that customers were not aware that charges were rounded up to the next full minute, that 15 seconds were added to each session for connection time, and occasionally billing customers for time in free areas. AOL continued to charge by the hour until December of that year, switching to a flat monthly rate of $19.95. Who here remembers that point in time when the price changed, when this price change caused AOL to have such a huge spike in new users? When
Wow.
they changed from charging by the minute to a flat rate, that's when it spiked. You know what I mean? Everybody jumped on because it was 1995. What is that? 1995 a month to get on AOL. We would be like, what? And what did you do on AOL? Check your email. Wasn't a lot to do.
Well, it was new, you
Yep.
know,
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't a lot to do.
but you didn't
AOL.
have a lot. You didn't have gigs either.
No, we're
You weren't
talking like
writing long
it was
paragraphs.
like this wasn't fast. AOL was a major driver of the growth of internet usage in the 1990s as their blanket marketing campaign of distributing free trial disc was the introduction for many people to the nascent global network. It reported that at one point in the 1990s, half of all CDs pressed were AOL installers. Mm.
Oh my gosh, I remember those discs used to come. I'm like, stop it.
Stop sending to me. I don't want to be on your thing. Anyway, in 2001, AOL made the biggest merger in history at the time with Time Warner, and in 2002 reached over 26 million users before the emergence of broadband DSL and cable internet services began the slow decline of the once dominant company. And sometimes they keep trying to keep people in their little rabbit hole and ecosystem and don't tell them that you can get out, um, because some people are still paying monthly for stuff that they don't need to be paying for. on like with their internet
Mm-hmm.
to access stuff, that everything you get is free with Gmail or another internet company. I mean, email company. Final story, July 7th, 1936, several U.S. patents were issued for the Phillips head screw and screwdriver to inventor Henry F. Phillips. Phillips founded the Phillips Screw Company to license his patents. One of the first customers was General Motors for its Cadillac assembly lines. By 1940, 85% of U.S. screw manufacturers had a license for the design, which I think was smart. He licensed the design. And you know what? He didn't care about it if they had the screwdriver or not, but that was my design, and I'm giving you license to use it. That was smart.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is your week in tech history. I was going to see if there's tech making news in history. Let's see. I don't think I see anything. Bits and bytes. Yeah, I don't see anything that is standing out
Okay.
that does not require deep dive. So that is your news in tech history.
Well, thank you, Fran.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. Um, I wanna start this out. I've got one story because I think it's going to spark some conversation. Uh, so let me just put this picture up to see if I can share my screen. Let's see if I got this thing going here.
And
Where?
isn't it lovely how they put a bunch of stuff up there?
Yes, girl. They just, you know, stuff is going on. This is, let me close this over here. What is this? Wonderfulness.
People working out, and I'm going to talk about that too because I'm reading this book, and boy, is he ever right. Okay, go ahead.
I wanted you to see this picture of these teddy bears. Can you see them?
Yeah, the brown bears, the colorful bears, the
Okay.
purple
Just the
bears.
whole, I want, because today I want to talk to you about toys. I just want, what is happening with toys and AI? Does anybody remember Teddy Ruxpin?
Oh my gosh, and you actually have one.
I, girl, these kids leave everything when they move out. Okay. So I'm cleaning
Hopefully
up.
he don't talk.
He talks, but
Okay.
he had a little cassette in the back of him, right? And so you put the cassette in, and it would read the kid bedtime stories or adventure stories, whatever you bought, whatever tape you bought. Um, however, and people thought he was pretty creepy because I think his eyes flash and stuff's going on. Okay, but I just want to talk to you about these new AI toys that may be coming out. I read an article over here in USA Today, and it says in not so distant future, we're going to be dealing with teddy bears that will be talking to our children and gaining intelligence as learning from them as they talk to them and holding conversations with them. Now, this could lead to information not just about the child and their best kept secrets. Well, tell me how you feel about what are you thinking? Da, da, da. What, and learning. And the more that the child talks to them, the more they're learning about them. And in some cases, Fran, learning more about the family. What does daddy do? What time does mommy and daddy go to work? What school do you go to? Things that
Case
could
in
put,
the joint. They are case in the joint.
okay, things that could put the family, the children, and their general community at risk. So
Um,
you
okay,
need
this is a bot up in the
you
house.
need to be concerned about what information these toys are going to be collecting and learning because it's not just collecting data, but it's learning as it collects data and it gets more and more intimate.
So I would like to offer this. We
Mm-hmm.
are already there. We've already done that
Mm-hmm.
because we have, I can say Alexa because I don't have one, but Alexa and other voice activated that we have in the house, they're already doing
And
that.
they're listening.
Right.
And
Except for the fact that you're not talking directly to the thing. That's the difference. Now with the bear, I can see the kids with, instead of having an imaginary friend, they have this bear
mm-hmm,
that
mm-hmm.
they're talking to, or whatever it happens to be. They're having a conversation and telling the bear all the secrets. On one hand, I think it might be good, but why is the parent or some other person not being the one that the child is talking to?
Well, that's always been the case. We don't know why our kids won't talk to us.
Well, I um,
You know what I'm saying?
uh, she Mark said she just awakened her. I just awakened her. She said, I don't know that. She doesn't know you, Francine. Yes, because I think Mark has a Alexa. And
Well, do you remember when they had that Barbie doll that was collecting information and they sued Mattel because because
privacy.
they felt that they were going to be selling that information to third parties for marketing purposes, da 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 da.
And they're hearing a lot other stuff going on in the house too, not just
Oh yeah.
okay. And that was the thing about Alexa, and it just they had to tell you and warn you that hey, this thing is listening all the time. Instead of just using the wake up word to turn it on, it was always on. And
Exactly. It says in 2015, this Wi Fi enabled doll was the precursor to AI tools. It recorded, collected, and saved conversations. The significant invasion of privacy and security risk was one thing, but there are also concerns about how the recorded data could be used for marketing purposes, and its maker, Mattel, was sued and made changes to comply with the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act.
do we still have that?
I have no idea what's in it because technology has evolved, so I don't know if it covers it's sort of like, you know, automobile safety from 2020. I don't know. Does it say stop at a traffic light when traffic lights were invented later? You know what I'm saying?
Right. So I don't know.
But there are things that you can do to protect yourself. You can enable all okay, and
Say that one more
disable things
time.
like cameras.
Okay, say that one more time.
You can enable all the parental controls on the toy.
Okay.
You can, oh, we got a comment here. Here, wait a minute. Okay, he says, I just awakened her. I guess he's talking about Barbie.
No,
She said,
talking about Alexa.
oh, she says, I don't know that. She doesn't know you, friend. Okay, so we can disable cameras. I never thought about that. That if the toy has a camera, oh my gosh.
The eyes are watching.
Yes. They're not
Just
only
a creepy
listening, they're
cat like we
watching.
saw before.
Hmm. And chat functionalities if possible. Now, see, that's the thing. If possible, are they going to allow you to disable that stuff? Because if the marketing thing is that the toy interacts with the child, okay, always read the gadget's privacy policy. Now you have to be a tech genius to determine whether or not you want to bring that into the house. And Christmas Day can be very enlightening. Make sure there's a way to reset the toy to erase its capabilities and memory. because if you pass that toy on, let's say the toy ends up in a yard sale, okay, and it's got all the child and the family's personal stuff on there, that could be an issue.
Well, all of the privacy stuff has been an issue. That is why
Hmm.
um, some companies are going so far to try and protect your privacy. They're really, well, some of them, not all of them, um, and they're doing things to not let you, not let your data out. That's a hard thing to do when you want to put a product out, but then you have to protect the people's personal information. That's a major responsibility, and some people don't do that right. Some
Okay.
people, they don't get it right, and they just,
Well, all I'm saying is that there are going to be a number of toys coming out that are going to be using AI, and we want to be more aware of the possibilities, because when we think of children's toys, we really don't think of them in that way as being a possible invasion of our privacy, or collecting data, selling data, um,
well,
walking away with intimate information about your child that you don't even know. I didn't know Johnny felt that way, but Boo
Well,
Boo knows. I
see,
got
this
a
is
problem with
can
that.
can I weigh in? I mean, I'm
Yes,
coming in on the end. So this is about privacy and toys.
yes, coming up
Okay,
with
so my thing about privacy is if you connect to the internet,
mm,
if
your privacy.
anything connects to the internet,
it's
mm-mm.
over.
So you
You,
really don't. So you need to, which I believe I hear you saying, TJ. You just need to think that you don't have no privacy just because you connected.
yeah, yeah. If you connect
Mhm.
in it's toys. We talked about was it some appliance? No, it was a garage door opener. Remember years ago there was something about a garage door opener that was getting that they got access through the internet because it was connected to the internet,
Yeah,
Mm,
and refrigerators that connected to the internet. It was coming through those devices.
right. And
mm.
people was having
Right. They were
access to
coming
the house.
in and people were like up in arms, but I was like, if you don't have your network devices at your home set up properly, that happens. So
Mhm.
you have to be vigilant about if you do updates for your phone, you have to do updates for your router. If you have a home network, you have those are things that have to be stay you have to stay on top of them. I'm sorry, that's just the world we live in. You ask for the convenience of internet, well, there's a other responsibility.
There you go.
And
Mhm.
so this thing about privacy, well, we're kind of in the boat. Um, you have to be vigilant, is all I can say. It's
And
a
you have
lot.
to think about it and make a choice, like you said, before you
Well,
buy
if
the
you and
toy.
this is the thing, if you don't know what you're doing, hire somebody. There's plenty of people out there that know how to keep up on updates, how to make sure no one gets into your home network. Check your settings. There's lots of settings. There's all these
Mhm.
things. There's updates all the time. That's why they're updates because the companies are especially Apple, like they put out updates because there's people attacking them. So they go,
That's right.
"Oh, we fixed this." And then we patched the door, we patched a hole in the door. They came in through another door. I mean another hole. They made another hole. So we got to keep patching. So that's why you
Like
have to update.
whack-a-mole. Yeah.
Yes, you have to update because they're the other side of this is hackers.
Hmm.
Hackers are doing their thing. Hackers gonna hack. So I mean it's a lot. So I always say this: is time or money. You spend your time trying to educate
Hmm.
yourself about the level of network security you need for your home network, or you pay somebody reputable that knows what they're doing, and they will keep on top of it for you. Now you have to pay them,
Hmm.
but why not? They're providing a service. So
Yes, they are.
that's my standpoint.
Well,
That's where I
all I
stand.
want you to know is, people, AI is coming to your toys, and you need to be aware that it is a possible backdoor to a lot of stuff in your house, including your personal conversations, cameras. I didn't even think about that. They said, you want to turn off the camera. Oh, these toys are going to have
Well,
cameras.
see, this is the world we live in. If it connects to the internet, there you go.
And I can see where, you could connect the toy and the toy is talking to you, and then it's over on the iPad, and it's like a play group all of a sudden. You know,
Right. Right. So I mean, I don't know what to say. It's just
I just want
we're
people to be aware
yeah, yeah. No, no, no.
because
You're right.
Christmas is coming,
Let
and
people know.
we went through this with the Barbie doll in 2015, right?
The toys that we had when we were kids, these are different toys. A toy on the shelf is not just a plastic or a plush thing sitting on the shelf and you think it's cute. Yeah, it's cute, but it's got, oh, it does this and that. Well, we'll think about the process of how it does that. When
And
we bought
also,
toys, it was just batteries.
exactly, and you could turn it on and off.
And now it is like, okay, does it connect to the internet? Does it connect to my smartphone? Let me think about it.
And the other
So,
thing is, be aware that just because you didn't choose a toy,
oh yes,
grandma,
gifts. Mm-hmm.
auntie,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
cousin, so and so might send a toy, and you
Yes.
need to look at the packaging
But
because they
see,
want
that's your level of responsibility as a
to.
parent. Whatever is in your kids' environment, you must bet. You, not the government. The government own can do so much stuff like recalls and things like that. Yes, but they
Exactly.
can't do everything. So parents' responsibility is you pay for it, you put it in the kids' hands, you control it, no matter what the kid says, unless they have a job and they are paying.
Or
Then
take it to
that's a
your
different
house,
story, right?
take it to their house,
Yeah.
because it's just a lot to
Yeah.
have to regulate.
Yes,
Um,
I agree. I agree.
it's just difficult just keeping up with the iPad. I just with all
Just
this
make
other
sure you do
stuff.
your updates. If you have Apple
Yes.
devices, do your updates. That's all I can say.
If you got, don't the other devices tell you to update?
I'm not sure.
No.
I have an Android, but I rarely pay attention to it because it's a dummy.
Yeah,
So
Mhm.
because the one I have, it's drama when you turn it on. I do have a device over there. It's sitting on the thing.
I have one, yeah, because I have to answer. If I have an Android question, I'm like, okay, let me look at the Android. But it's not something that I use. I use it for TikTok, and that's it.
And the other thing with the Android device that I have, um, it doesn't do. One of my clients turned their phone on, and I had to watch a commercial before I got to the
Yeah, no,
home.
you told you. Yeah, I remember
I was
you
like,
mentioned that.
what kind of crazy is this that I can't get to my phone until I look at your ad? I
Well,
was
my
done.
question
Might
is, what
be
kind of service were they
Samsung or
signed up for? But
Samsung or something.
No, it wasn't a service. It was the phone.
well, in the line of toys, I still have this mini something device that they came with a book that read the story to my
Uh-huh.
grandchild.
Okay.
I'm like, and then of course when the grandkids come over, they plug it in and they're listening to music, and I'm like, pulling the plug on that puppy every time. I'm just like,
So
what's
you
going
got
on with this?
there's the parental, advisory. So
Right. Mark has the comment and he says, I think that all Android users should be forced to move to Florida.
Mark, you are bad. I'm gonna hit your hand.
So,
I'm gonna get
yes,
the ruler and tap you on the hand.
this was like the creepy cat. The creepy cat
Yes.
came out first. See what your neighbors are doing or your friends are doing. I was like, really?
And then
Because
it
it was
follows you
connected.
around the room as eyes.
Yeah.
Remember?
Right. But it
That's
was
what
also
made it look
showing,
creepy.
it was showing you what your friends were doing.
Right.
I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
okay, this is really weird.
So that's what I have for you today. I thought I'd give you a break and just remind you that Christmas is coming and things are being developed. We're
Yes,
going
and
to a
with
whole
Christmas
new level.
coming, Christmas, Amazon Prime Day is coming up,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
which means because Amazon is jumping, Amazon not waiting until Black Friday. Amazon does
They never do.
they do a couple
Christmas
of
in
Black
July.
Fridays before they get to the actual Black Friday. So anyway,
So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, guys.
Yeah, I'm like, what the? Yeah.
I know.
How do you keep you? How TJ probably summed it up best. If it connects to the internet, there is no privacy. Even though they're
There,
telling you they're working on it or they made it private, there is none.
Yeah, so
there is,
stepping on
because
Legos might not be so bad, guys. Just
because of the nature of how the internet works. How do you get the
Mhm,
internet? You must connect to a provider. There's
You
no
mhm.
privacy there. The provider can see everything that you request on the web or your mobile device.
right.
That's the nature of the internet. Information passes from one device to the other. Now, I always say there's not enough people working at enough employees to watch every single
Mhm.
thing that comes
Right.
through, because
Yes.
there are things that they look at for, child pornography, things that break the law.
And
But
and
there,
it's
Mhm.
but
it's
there's no employee at Spectrum or whatever
and they're just sitting
internet.
there.
They're not sitting there looking. It's not the
Oh,
NSA.
they're not doing that. And every time I'm thinking about a space movie, you take your connection and you just click, and you're
Hmm.
now,
You plugged in.
if you want privacy, you're going to need to disengage.
Yeah, disengage or watch what you share or what you open yourself up to.
There you go. Watch what you open yourself up to. But
Yeah,
Um,
be aware, people. Beware.
and Mark says it's the only day that I can accurately say that I am in my prime. Prime day.
Prime Day.
Oh, he's got jokes.
always.
On Prime Day. Okay. So that's it for me. I just when I found this Teddy Ruxpin, I was like, what the heck is this?
Teddy Ruxpin, they still make those?
No,
Terry has one.
I found one in the closet when I was cleaning out
Oh.
the girls' room.
Oh, okay.
And remember his eyes flashed like the creepy
Yes.
Like the
girl.
dolls that there are dolls that eyes
Yeah.
follow you around the room. Okay,
Exactly.
and then you can and there are dolls that Chatty Cathy or whoever it was. It had batteries and it had a vocal thing in there, but it wasn't
Hmm.
connected to the internet, talking to
No.
you from somewhere else.
Right.
Okay. Or collecting data so it could have conversations with you again about it. Well, how is daddy? Is he at work? How's it going?
Okay,
How's the
see
law
that
firm?
I
What are they working on at the law firm?
see. I could not.
What is daddy worried about today? Oh, I don't know. He said something at breakfast about ABC Corporation.
That and I think there was a movie or something where the kid was talking in their room and
Mhm.
they tried to get the kid's toy because the kid overheard this conversation.
Hmm.
Because kids are listening.
Right. And then the kid was talking to the toy and
Hmm.
mommy, daddy is going to do da 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 da,
Exactly.
giving up all the company secrets.
Okay, so the next time your your friends give your kid a toy from the company, you might want to check it out. Oh my gosh.
Mark says nothing is more terrifying than a doll collection. One of my childhood friends' mom had a doll collection in the basement in lit cases. It was truly terrifying.
Oh my God. In the basement, no less. Woo!
I'm like, okay,
Oh well.
that's like the ones up in the attic and they all sitting around.
It's a lot going on. So that's it. TJ, you're on.
Okay, I'm ready.
I know we got a lot to say about
Woo, we got
sewing
stuff
issues.
happening in social media.
Oh
Okay.
yes, exciting time. Very exciting. Yeah.
All
So
right,
this week in
TJ.
social media news, make
Mm-hmm.
sure my mic is because all right, yeah. My mic is in the place where it's supposed to be. All right, so let's start with a new one. Shazam app can now
Oh.
identify songs in TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and more. So Apple updated its Shazam music recognition app to allow it to recognize and identify songs that are playing in third-party apps like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Users can open up Shazam, tap the blue button, and switch back to the app that was in use to see what was playing. So the Shazam app uses the iPhone microphone to hear the song and is able to listen while the other app is in use. After a few seconds, the song will be identified and swapping back to Shazam will show the song name and information. So if you use Shazam, which I don't, I probably will.
I
I want
use
to try that out.
I used Shazam. I used it yesterday, as a matter of fact. I was playing a solitaire game, and I was like, "What song is that? What piece of Mozart was that?" And it identified it. The
cool.
thing is, it brings it to my Apple Music library, thinking
Right.
that I want to buy it or I want it in the library. I just want to know what the
Mhm.
name was. Didn't mean that I wanted it in the library. Just wanted to know what
You
it was
just
called.
wanted to know the name. Okay.
Yes, but it does work.
Okay, good.
It works
Good to
really
know.
well.
All right, let me see. No Snapchat this week. And I'm going to save that one, the big story, for later. So let's talk
Okay.
about OpenAI.
Mhm.
ChatGPT Bing browsing feature has been disabled because of a paywall access flaw. So
Oh.
if you use ChatGPT and you use the Bing feature because it goes to the internet, it's been disabled this week because it was allowing people to put in links from paywall sites, like say Bloomberg is one. There's a couple, the news sites
Mhm.
you have to pay. So it put the link in and then they could see the article without
Oh,
paying.
so the people wouldn't get. It took them past the paywall.
Mm.
So here's the quote. We've learned that ChatGPT browse beta can occasionally display content in ways we don't want, e.g., if a user specifically asks for a URL's full text, it may inadvertently fulfill this request. We are disabling browse. While we fix this, we want to do right by the content owners. So this is
That's
what they're
good.
doing.
That's
We're
Yeah.
good.
trying not to get sued. That's what
Oh, of course. All right. YouTube is testing AI generated quizzes.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's a new feature that will bring AI generated quizzes, and the quizzes will be there to test your understanding of the subject covered in the video you're watching.
Okay, so now we got to go to school.
Yeah,
Yes.
take a test after you watch the
It's
video.
a
Yeah,
quiz.
you're gonna an AI quiz. Okay, so YouTube has a test features and experiments page. It was updated to share more information about the use of AI in these quizzes. A small percentage of viewers will see AI generated quizzes on the YouTube mobile app home feed, both on Android and iOS. Oh, excuse me, my throat. Sorry. These quizzes will test your understanding of a subject covered in an educational video you have recently watched. So here's the quote from YouTube. To make it easier for people to learn about topics they're interested in, we're experimenting with AI generated quizzes on the YouTube mobile app home feed. If you're a viewer in the experiment, you may see these AI generated quizzes start to pop up on your app's homepage. The quizzes will test your understanding of a subject covered in a video you recently watched. So you participate in it. It's not mandatory.
Oh, okay.
So it will pop up and say, after you watch a video that's educational content, and this is a part of an experiment, so it's not every video. There will be an AI quiz, probably put on by the channel user. I mean, not user, channel owner, the owner of the channel. So it's an experiment rolling out globally. A small percentage of iOS and Android users of the YouTube app. So it's the mobile app, not the desktop. So again, this is a test. And I think it's a good thing. If you do educational videos, it's a way to get engagement.
It is.
Right.
So look out for that.
And it's a way
I
to
don't know
check for
anybody
learning.
in the I don't know anybody in the test. So And again, this may be something they add or maybe not.
Mm.
All right. More from YouTube. YouTube is fixing an annoying problem for premium users. Anybody here use premium?
I do.
Okay. I had the trial and I liked it, but I was like, okay, maybe later. But premium users, when you're watching a video on your phone, do you unintentionally pause it by accidentally tapping the screen? Is that a problem? Yes? No?
I, yeah, if I'm listening to something and I tap the
Mm-hmm.
screen on on my phone,
Mm-hmm.
and
Accidentally.
it
It will
pauses the
pause the
video.
video.
Mm-hmm.
So they're fixing that by putting a lock screen so users can enable the lock screen while watching videos in full screen mode.
Okay.
So YouTube says the feature disables touch inputs while watching videos. This way, YouTube Premium owners or users won't have to worry about pausing, fast forwarding, or disrupting the video in any way. And it's by accident. It's real easy to tap your screen and something happens.
Mhm.
Yes.
So they're putting that on for select YouTube Premium subscribers who are on Android or iOS. They're giving users until July 30th to test out the feature for themselves. You can see if you got the invite by visiting the YouTube homepage. So when you go to the YouTube homepage, there'll be an invite from YouTube to say, hey, you want to test this lock screen feature out? And you say yes, and then you're in the test.
Okay.
So
Good to know.
give it a try. I'm not a YouTube premium user.
There were some things I would like for them to do
Mm-hmm.
as a, like put all, if I got YouTube TV,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
make premium part of my YouTube TV package.
Right. It's not when
No.
you log in to YouTube as the account that has the YouTube Premium.
Okay, YouTube TV.
Oh, it's
Listen to
YouTube TV. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. There's two different things. YouTube TV is a TV.
But they
right,
like
but it's in the same family. Now,
Right.
this is one time I would like them to bundle.
Oh,
I
I
was
see
gonna
what you're
say.
saying. A bundle. Okay.
Bundle
Yeah,
it
that makes sense.
together, charge me a little extra or something because they do have a family YouTube premium.
Yes. Yeah, they
Mm.
And
do.
I'm thinking, why don't you just because I don't use YouTube Music, so
Right.
okay.
Mm.
Right.
But
Okay.
it's a nice feature when I'm watching something. I don't have stuff popping up every time
Maybe that's something they're working on, a bundle.
hopefully they do. But I did like the YouTube. I like the fact that I don't get ads popping up when I'm trying to learn something or watch something.
Yeah,
There,
it is annoying. But see, they do that because they're driving you to YouTube Premium, which I probably will sign up for it later. I just like, okay.
right. It works.
Yeah.
I'm used to it. It's kind of like when we got the audio devices.
Yes.
Um, the audio devices when we
Mhm.
first got those, it was
Mhm.
oh, okay, I really don't need that. And then when you get it, you're like, this is actually pretty nice.
I agree.
Mark has a comment. He said, I don't have YouTube TV any longer, but not having a bundle for both is a ridiculous oversight and missed opportunity. It
Well,
is.
it
Mm.
might be something internal that YouTube is looking at it in two different silos. But again, there may be somebody, they got a new CEO, so that may be one of the things he's working on.
Right.
So just keep YouTube is always making changes. So just keep your eyes peeled or stay tuned here. Tech Talk Friday.
Yep.
It's gonna come up. All right, let's move on to TikTok.
Mm.
TikTok has launched a music stream. Oh,
That was something I tapped on my phone.
oh, okay.
Okay, it didn't
I was
stop.
like, we got a comment?
No.
Okay. All right. So TikTok launches a music streaming service in Brazil in Brazil and Indonesia called TikTok Music. Now I think we talked about this before where TikTok is getting into the music business, but they've launched it in Brazil and Indonesia as a test. This is TikTok Music. It lets users sync the service to the existing TikTok accounts and listen, download, and share songs. The service includes the catalogs of major record companies, including Universal Music Group, Warner Music Group, and Sony Music. Oh, that little pop up. Get on out of here. Um, TikTok Music lets you play full versions of viral TikTok songs, discover personalized music recommendations, access lyrics in real time, create collaborative playlists with friends, import your music library, and find songs via a lyric search. Why do I say lyrics? Lyric search. And it's also speaking of Shazam, there's a Shazam like feature that can identify music that you're listening to. So it will let you download songs for offline listening. Also has the social features and the sharing and the commenting and everything. So
Uh-huh.
that is what TikTok has done. So they were asked if they were going to launch this in the United States. A spokesperson for the company said TikTok doesn't have anything to share at the moment. So they're not saying anything about this TikTok music coming to the US.
Yeah, they trying to make sure they regular TikTok and stay in the
Oh
US.
yeah.
They got other stuff.
Exactly. Without
Yeah.
messing with the music community, they really have an uproar.
And because breaking into the music community, they're gonna have to come up against Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora. I don't think
But
it's
realize that a lot of Gen Z, what do they use over those other ones? They use TikTok
the
mostly.
TikTok, yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
the Gen Zers will probably use it.
Oh, most definitely.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So one more about TikTok. So there's a new study that says TikTok is losing popularity as an e-commerce search engine. So I think we talked about this a while back that a lot of
Right.
Gen Z, they don't go to Google to search for things. They're in TikTok, so they search for products and things to buy in TikTok. So they're saying this new study says fewer U.S. adults are beginning their product searches on TikTok over a year ago. So this was a year ago that we talked about it.
Right.
So they're saying that Amazon is now in a place where people go naturally. The starting point for product searches. Even the younger generation, they're saying. So there's some numbers. So they're saying overall the starting point for product searches among online shoppers is Amazon at 49%. They're up 46% from last year, followed by Google, 34%. They're down from 35% from last year. Amazon has also increased its popularity among younger age groups compared to last year. So 18 to 24-year-olds is up 45%. 25 to 34-year-olds is up 44%. So now, what does this have to do with TikTok? So they said TikTok's year-over-year decline is a steep decline, and they're saying usage fell from 18% to 11% among Gen Z, that's 18 to 24, and from 10% to 5% among young millennials. Young millennials is 25 to 34. So remember, millennials, I think, are 41. Right. Like the oldest millennial is 41 this year. So they're saying that TikTok's decline is year over year, which means it's a steady decline. So they're saying that this is so this is the question that they asked. I thought this was really interesting. So they asked the question: when shopping for a product online, where do you typically start for product searches and research? So that was the question that they asked everybody. So I thought that was really interesting. That TikTok is now a place where there's not, their e-commerce section is not growing the way they want, like in Asia. Like the Asian countries, they have the app Douyin or something they have that they use for everything.
Right. And that doesn't float here.
Right.
Because we have Amazon. Now, I don't know how that shopping works. You know what I mean? How does that shopping thing work? If I go into TikTok and buy something, how do I know if it's going to get to me next day, same day, blah, 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 blah. With Amazon, I know their MO. I know how it's going to come. And I got backup. If something don't go right, I can contact Amazon and have them.
I can return it.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's more confidence shopping with Amazon than somebody else.
Yeah, you stay where you're, All right. Okay, so I have two from Twitter, but I'm going to do one now, and then I'm going to do one after the Meta story.
Okay.
All right, so the first Twitter, you'll soon have to pay to use TweetDeck. So remember, TweetDeck is the tool that the third-party tool, and then Twitter bought, where it's more of a management tool where you can have different columns and you could see different searches on Twitter. So that's going behind Twitter Blue. So they're moving that in August. It's free now. It was always free. Now it's going behind Twitter Blue paywall, which means you have to pay what is it, $8 a month or whatever the Twitter Blue feature is. So they're moving that behind the paywall because they need money. So,
okay, but that doesn't seem like a good strategy right at this point.
I was gonna say right now.
I kind of thought it would go behind the paywall, so I stopped using it so I wouldn't get my feelings hurt. But it's a great tool if you use Twitter for Twitter marketing and management and searching and research, which I don't do anymore. So I'm not crying.
Yeah, but it's just bad timing to do that.
Exactly.
Okay,
yeah. Let's talk about Twitter and Twitter's timing. So moving on to Meta.
Yes.
There's a new app. We talked about it a couple of times called Threads.
And I found, let me say this. I found out about it because TJ posted something in her Instagram story. I was like, what? And I went over there. I saw what you had posted. I'm like, oh, let me go and get this app. Okay.
So, and this number is probably not fresh. It's saying more than 30 million people have signed up for Meta's new Threads app, Threads. So it was supposed to go live Thursday morning, Thursday, July 6th, but Meta did a shocker and went live Wednesday at, I think it was like 6 or 7 Eastern Standard Time, my time, because I just happened to have gone through, because let me give the credit. Jen's Trends, she talks about Instagram a lot on Instagram and everywhere, and she posted that, if you want to get an invite code before it goes live on Thursday, you go to search thread in Instagram, and there was a ticket that popped up. You tap the ticket. So I did that. So I was already hooked in. So on Wednesday night, when they turned it on early, it just popped up, and I was like, wait a minute. So I went in, and everybody's doing it. So now they're saying that there's over 50 million profiles that have active. After just one day of operation, the app was already halfway to 100 million accounts. 100 million accounts. This means that it's going on track to be the fastest downloaded platform. It's going to beat ChatGPT.
Right. Wow. It's on trend for that.
Yeah, on trend for that. So we'll see the numbers, because I'm going to talk about it on Tuesday. There's lots to talk about, so I'm going to talk about it on Tuesday. But here's a quote. The app is now available globally, except in Europe. I'll explain that in a minute. With the rapid sign-up pace showing Meta's enormous ability to scale up compared to other Twitter rivals like Blue Sky, which still requires invite codes.
I'm still waiting.
So I'm not even, Blue Sky is not on my radar anymore because of the terms of service. Also, there's a new app called Spill that Black Twitter was going to. That they have a problematic terms of service. I'll get into that if you want. And all of this is coming out because last weekend, he turned off access to Twitter as far as being logged out, because you can always see tweets regardless of having a Twitter account or not. So I think it was last Saturday or something, or Friday, everybody just went crazy because you had to be logged in to see
anything.
So Elon thought he was doing something, but he got his card pulled because tweets are indexed by Google. That means you could search for something and tweets pop up. If he turned it off, the tweets don't show up. Also, if you have embedded tweets, which a lot of media companies do, those went dark because they work because you don't need to log in.
Mm.
But he fixed that. I think Monday or Tuesday this week he fixed it. So it was back to normal. So you could see a tweet without being a user. But it doesn't
Mm.
matter anymore because Threads came out and everybody ran over there.
And
Now,
did they run?
oh, it's been a party. I have not done anything since Wednesday. So Threads is text only, but up to 500 characters, but you can post GIFs and short videos, I think up to 5 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and you can post images. But most people are sticking with text and they're self-policing people. They're saying,
Okay.
okay, don't bring all that reels and crap over here. This is text conversations only. So people have been really nice about it. Also, another thing on Threads, they're telling these business gurus that want to sell courses, don't come
Mm-hmm.
over here with that. I've seen so many posts saying don't. And somebody said, oh, do you want me to talk about my business something something over here? And everybody was like, no. Like 1,000 people popped up and told this lady no. Keep that on Instagram. If you got an Instagram and you're selling courses, you're a business guru, a business coach, a business that, they're saying keep it on Instagram because there's a button that people can tap on your Threads profile that will take them to your Instagram.
Right.
So they're
Okay.
trying to keep it clean.
Right.
Trying to keep it clean like Twitter.
And here's Mark's comment. Mark says, I love Threads so far, a kinder, gentler place for now. I don't have but a tiny number of followers so far, but I am enjoying the posts.
Yeah, Mark. I told Mark, I said this is the place for your insights and your quotes and things.
Right. It's perfect because it's not a lot of noise going on.
Right.
Instagram, when you go in, is like you're on a
There's too
busy
many
street.
things.
What is that in Times Square where it's traffic is going zoom, zoom, zoom and stuff, and then there's lights on the buildings and everywhere. But in Threads, you can just kind of like, oh, and you're reading different stuff. And it's
Right.
not
right. So a lot of people.
country.
So this is the thing that I realized because I saw Mario Armstrong did a live and he was saying I had already signed up, already activated. He said, but when you activate it, don't accept all your Instagram followers in mass. Like don't go pick and choose through it because you're going to see everything from everybody. But I had already, done everybody, because it pours.
Right.
Everybody that follows you on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And vice versa, it will show on Threads. When you go to Threads, you already
Yeah.
have following.
Right.
You don't start at zero. You
Nope.
already have
Oh, okay.
following because people automatically import their Instagram followers. Everything from Instagram comes in automatically. There's no typing a bio. There's no setting up a username. None of that.
You just click on there.
You hit Instagram profile, import, boop, and you're in.
Right.
And you just go to town and start, put in your thoughts, input what you want. There is no strategy yet. There's people trying to figure out how to do business on this thing. And I'm like, okay, pump your brakes. There's going to be a way. I have a few ideas, but let this simmer. Get in there and swim around and say what you got to say.
Right.
And it's a clean place to start fresh with your thoughts.
And you're
not selling.
Right.
You can sell. You can sell. It puts links in. You can put a link in. I've seen people put links into their YouTube videos, but it's people self-policing. They don't want that. They're having fun. Like Mark said, having fun. I didn't think I was going to have fun with it.
I didn't either. Well, when I went in, it was extremely easy to maneuver.
Okay.
Wow, this is nice.
There's nothing to learn. You just type what you want to say.
Right.
When you go to your main feed, you're going to see people that you follow their things. You can like it. You can respond. Here's the thing I want to tell about Mark. Keep using it because people that see your post, I'm going to call it post. They're trying to work out what to call it, a thread, or this, a stitch. They're trying the terminology. I put up a link on my Instagram about the dictionary of words you use on Threads, put out by Threads. So it's by Threads. but that's still being sorted out. But when you post something and somebody likes it, their people see it.
Oh.
There's a discoverability thing in there, so you have to keep using it. The
Mm-hmm.
more people like and respond, their followers will see what they said.
Exactly.
I'm seeing that. Now, here's the let's get into the negatives because they're floating around. So here's the negatives. You can't delete your Threads account without deleting your Instagram account because they're tied naturally. So that got a lot of people upset. I'm like, why? So Adam Mosseri came out and said you can archive your Thread profile, kind of hides it, but it doesn't remove it because it's connected to
your
Instagram.
Instagram.
Right. Also, there's no DMs. There's no hashtag search. There's only a people search right now. There's not there's a couple other things. And they did an update today. Adam Mosseri said Threads will eventually have a chronological feed option just like Instagram and Facebook. And I think he said some other things, but they can't put everything in the pot.
It's just like a cell phone. When we first got the iPhone, it did not have
It
a
did not do the
legitimate
things.
camera.
It did not do the wonderful things it does today.
No. And it had those were different things that, okay, now that we got that working and you can make a call, let's talk about the camera on the back.
Right.
And are just doing stuff.
Right. So instead of people just enjoying it, which I see a lot of people saying, I'm enjoying this. It's freeing. I don't have to worry about presenting themselves in a certain way. They can put their thoughts out there. They're not afraid. So I see a lot of people that I follow on Instagram that they are over on Threads and they're just running them. They're just talking about all kind of things, and it's different things. There's no rules so far.
And there's no salesiness to it.
Right. They're trying. I saw a couple of people trying to, and I said, and a matter of fact, I think Dr. Tachi did a live with a few guys on Wednesday or Thursday talking about it, and I came in the comments and said, listen, this is not a place to sell. And somebody said, why not? I said, because that's not the place. You have Instagram for that. There's a link to your Instagram. That's why I did the demo of sharing my threads to my stories. All you do is tap share and then ask you, do you want it to go to stories or your feed, or let me see. There's a couple other options, but that's where you got your sales system set up to sell.
Right. And you already had that over there on Instagram anyway, or you should have. Don't come over here putting all them, don't muddy up the water over here.
That's what people are saying.
And then there's somebody that was on just when I turned on Clubhouse to turn on for our Tech Life Weekly, somebody was in there, strategies for Threads. I'm like, really? It just came out.
I've seen that. Somebody I follow that does a lot of Clubhouses. They're like, come on over and we're gonna have and I'm like, let them. They're gonna get shut down. So when you share, you add it to the story, post to the feed, or you can even tweet it. I don't know what's going on with my throat. You can tweet your thread post. It goes to Twitter. There's also copy link if you want to copy it and share it to another platform. And there's also share via your phone, like the apps on your phone.
Right, because they said this is a open community, kind of like Mastodon. It's open. It's decentralized. That's what they were saying. The federal, and they called it a federation or something.
A fediverse. Okay, I don't want us to get. Let's not get caught up in that, because I don't want you to think about decentralization and Mastodon.
Right.
Let's not. That's to come. All that means is that simply, and Adam Mosseri has explained this. If you follow him on Instagram, he's been talking about it constantly. All that means is that your data belongs to you and you can pack up your bag and take it when you want to leave. It's not, there's other, like Twitter will let you do an archive of your tweets and everything. But from what he's saying, this is early days, that it's a different kind of pack up and leave. So,
Okay.
but I
This,
don't want us to get into terminology of, oh, it's the Fediverse. Oh, it's
and
the
I
Meta.
don't know, and I didn't know what that meant. I was like,
You
look,
don't
it's
have
just
to.
fun right now.
No, we having fun. That's to come. That's to come. So I see a lot of people that want to be the guru of threads and tell people how to do threads and come over and sell and doing clubhouses. Come on, I'm gonna tell you how to do your strategy. No, your strategy is to be yourself.
Right. And that is like when you wake up and you have a thought, you can post it on threads.
I
And
do that all the time. I wake up with so many thoughts, but I put them in Asana to
right,
use later for something. So
right,
now when I have a thought, like I'm still gonna put it in Asana, but I'm gonna put it in the threads. That's what I've been doing so far. Like stuff that I'm thinking about.
right.
I'm feeling in the moment. What's going on in the moment?
And that's what we've been missing is a place to do that. You know what? I had eggs and toast today, and
Yep.
the sunrise was just beautiful. Here's a picture of it. Enjoy your day. You can do that now.
Yes. And I've seen posts like that. Somebody posted something of the sun or something, and I was like, that improves my day. That puts me in a better frame of mind. So
Right.
this is not about selling. Instagram is for selling. Instagram is for selling. That's why there's a connection. There's a little when you go to somebody's profile, there's a little Instagram button and you tap it. Boom. You're on their Instagram and you can buy whatever they have or whatever they're selling. But Threads is not that right now. Threads is we having conversations, people. Text
So
only conversations, not a lot of, and I've already seen people say, don't bring your reels over here. Don't bring your, so I've seen a lot of people self-policing the community, saying we having fun, don't bog it down with that extra stuff. So,
I
and
would
I agree.
say this is okay. So remember when you were talking about if you like lollipops and cats and dogs and cakes and all of that, and you didn't want to kind of put that in your business Instagram, you can take that stuff and talk about that over on Threads.
Yes,
Oh,
do
your
that.
cake decorating and your
And and I'm going to tell you why, because it has to do with the Instagram algorithm, which they just came. Remember a few weeks ago, they told us what the Instagram algorithm looks at. So here's the simplified version of that. Whatever you look for in Instagram is going to be attached to your Instagram. So if you're there for business and you go look at puppies or dancing or something that's not in your
Related.
silo, your wheelhouse, Instagram goes, oh, you like that, so I know where to categorize you. So you don't want to look at. I try not to look at those things when people send. I'm in a Discord where people are talking about different things and they put Instagram links. I don't tap them because that's a signal to Instagram that I like that fight or that the crazy stuff that's
right, right, right,
dancing. I don't want that. Because
right,
when you look at that, all of that gets connected to your explore feed where you go and search, and then when you go search for something important, all that silly stuff is gonna pop. I call it silly. I
right. So,
don't want all that connected to my Instagram. So, but now I can go over the threads and talk about all the stuff that I want to talk about, and not worry about muddying up the water for my Instagram algorithm.
this is really good. I equate this to city versus country. In the city, you have all of the lights and the traffic
Yes.
and everything. And on the country, you get to sit on the porch with a glass of
Quiet.
lemonade and
It's
you get to
quiet,
quiet and rock back and forth
relaxing.
and just enjoy the view or whatever. It is slowed down over there. I can go to the city if I want to, whenever I need to, but I can also go to the country
Yes.
and just kind of relax.
And here's another thing I want to point out. A lot of people are saying that they're overwhelmed or another app. You don't have to use it.
You don't. I
it.
tell you what, I don't have to try and figure stuff out on Twitter. And I can just be over here and I can export it to Twitter too. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you can share your posts. They go to Twitter. A lot of people I've seen this also commented that they didn't get in on Twitter or they didn't want to be a part of Twitter, especially now because of all of the negativity that's been happening in the last few years because that guy became president. So they're saying that they feel like this is their chance to get into the Twitter like atmosphere of
Experience.
text messages and talking to people.
And I think what you said about people self-policing,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Twitter started out the same way, where it was just conversation and what was
Mm-hmm.
happening, and
Breaking
um,
news,
breaking news.
journalists.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, and Jimmy Fallon had some stuff on there that was fun. I'm like, oh, this is older. So they went and pulled old archives of stuff and posted stuff. I was like, okay, this is fun. And
Right.
they didn't, it wasn't complicated. It was
Mm-hmm.
very, very, it was
It's
freeing.
simple. And people are trying to,
Simple.
the strategy of threat, like you said, the clubhouse things that are going. I'm going to go and check it out. I want to see what people are saying, but I'm like, there's no strategy now, guys. Nobody's an expert. It's still,
Okay.
this is beta part 2.
We just need you to don't come up and just like somebody coming in and trying to sell you some, hey, I got to watch if you want it. No.
No thanks. I don't, and that's why I see a lot of people complaining. Oh, another app. Oh, this and that. You don't have to download it. You don't have to.
And again, people were complaining at them like, oh, I'm not following you. They were complaining about there's no DM, and when you going to do that. And Adam Mosseri, he said on there, it's on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what list? And I was like, okay, y'all.
Listen, do like Adam. Adam ignores those. He doesn't comment. He just puts out what he got to put out, and they'll get it when they get it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
This is a nation of complainers.
Ooh, and somebody put out, okay, I'm gonna start a thing. Show me your dog or something. I was like, okay, I can do that. I couldn't
Yes.
do that on Instagram without messing up the business side of stuff, but I was able, and I saw Rupert, Mark put his dog up, and
Yes. Mm-hmm.
and this was good. And all of a sudden, there was a bunch of dogs.
So things will start to self-select and self-categorize it. So while we wait for hashtags, if they come, while we wait for DMs,
Mm-hmm.
while we wait for all that stuff, enjoy. I think I put up a post about enjoying the ride, and I put up a gif of a roller coaster. Have some fun. Talk
Right.
about yourself. Oh, I like this. I like that.
And
I
if
like
I want to
different-
DM somebody, I can go to their Instagram to DM them because the Instagram is right there.
And a lot of people that I follow on Instagram that I've never ever rarely commented on this stuff, we're talking on threads. I'm like, oh, and then we're talking and they're responding. They're actually responding because it's new. Think of this as Clubhouse. Remember Clubhouse came out and it was invite only. People wanted to get in and everybody was having conversations. Well, this is the new place to get in front of people, but not by selling, by being yourself.
Right. Mark, it got jokes. He said, I think there should be a villager option where 10 or more people can show up with virtual torches and drive you off the app when you're out of line or killing a vibe.
Oh my goodness. You're making me laugh. Okay, so now we got to get to the second Twitter story that I held back.
Okay.
Now, Twitter is threatening to sue Meta because they said Meta copied them and stole their employees.
No, you fired your employees.
Okay, so let's get into it.
I thought he fired all them people.
He did.
And then he went to work at Meta.
Okay, so let's get into it. Let's read the story. So this is what the latest. Twitter has threatened legal action against Meta, accusing it of poaching former employees and unlawfully misappropriating trade secrets and intellectual property. It intends to strictly enforce its intellectual property rights and demands that Meta take immediate steps to stop using any Twitter trade secrets or other highly confidential information. So that he has some more stuff to say, blah blah blah, legalese, blah blah blah. So he's saying that they're saying that Meta has hired dozens of ex-Twitter employees over the last year. He claimed the company deliberately assigned them to work on threads with the specific intent that they use Twitter's trade secrets and other intellectual property in order to accelerate development of Meta's competing app. He says this violates states and federal laws as well as those employees' obligations to their former employee. In addition, they say Meta is prohibited from scraping Twitter data related to who people follow. So here's the answer. Meta has said no one on the Threads engineering team is a former Twitter employee. That's just not a thing. So that's they put that on
That
Threads.
was short and sweet. You don't have to answer. You fired all these people.
Okay, and so they're not supposed to eat.
Ex-employees are supposed to, unless they have a non-disclosure or
Disclosure.
NDA or whatever.
Mhm.
Right. And that's fine, but how do you know that they stole your ideas or your systems or whatever? How do you know that they use it?
Okay, so let's look at Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
The average person can go to Twitter right now and see how it works. What is it? Text 280, people reply.
Right.
So that's what that's what Threads is doing. Threads is 500 characters, people can reply, and then you could add links and you can add gifts. I could see
but
that.
that's 500, not 280.
But I could see that just by opening the app. There's no trade secret. Where's the trade secret?
Okay, so then what is Spoutable and who's the other person?
Still and Post
Mastodon.
and Mastodon and
yeah, them too. But I'm thinking about the other one with Isaac Hayes.
fan base. But that's not he took everything and mixed. It's Instagram, it's Twitter, it's Snapchat, it's Spaces, he put everything into his app.
Right, but the point is, the app is not a trade secret.
No, that's why I made the example of open Twitter right now. Go to Twitter right now on the desktop and look at it.
Yeah.
Oh, let me make an app where people type in text. Is that a trade secret?
No. I don't know what parts of Twitter is trade secret, but anyway,
also, if like I said, if Twitter, if there are Twitter employees that have a non-disclosure agreement after employment has terminated, they're in trouble. But I don't think Meta wouldn't do that. It's too big of a company with too big of a legal team to do that. They probably, if they hired ex-Twitter employees, which they probably did, these are all people that don't have the non-disclosure, the non-compete clause.
Okay, so I'm going to say this. Facebook, Meta finally got something right.
Yes. Now, here's another thing I want to bring up with that. I see a lot of talk about Meta stealing your data. And specifically, let me bring it up and Jack Dorsey, one of the founders of Twitter and one of the founders of Blue Sky, tweeted this saying that I think he said Meta has access to your health data. Hold on. Let me pull it up. It's a screenshot. Let me pull it up. Basically, he trying to, because Blue Sky is invite code only, and also again they're saying that people have not been going over there to Blue Sky like
the doors are locked.
Exactly.
We can't get in the front door. We knocking at the door.
Okay, let me see. I got a bunch of screenshots. All right, hold on. I got a bunch of screenshots. I should have brought it up. Let me see.
Hey,
Dr. Here we go. Okay, I got it. So, Jack.
Jack Dorsey.
Jack Dorsey, the owner of Blue Sky, says, he says all your threads all belong to us, which means that Meta owns your data. And then when you go to I think when you sign up for Threads or it pops up, there's a thing especially for Apple that tells you what the data usage is. So they're saying that Threads can use your health and fitness, financial information, contact info, user content, browser history, user data, diagnostics, purchases, locations, contacts, search history, identifiers, sensitive info, and other data. They really don't. You have to opt into that. You have to opt in.
You mean where it says apps asked,
health and fitness not to track? Well, okay, Apple has that as a cover. But what he's saying here is that for the non-Apple people, say Android or whatever, that Threads can get this data. No, they can't. Not without permission. That means you give it to them. So don't give it to them. Moving on. So this is came from Jack to scare people. And Jack, I'm gonna tell Jack that his terms of service is that Blue Sky owns all your content.
Mm.
And they can use it any way they want in perpetuity. It's in the terms of service. There actually was a story on Mashable. I think I shared that.
Yeah, you did.
That said that. So I was like, no, I don't need that. So there's misinformation floating around. And I'm going to say this. If you have a Facebook account, which most people do, you have an Instagram account, which a lot of people do, they already got your data. Meta already got you.
Yeah,
Thank
the
you.
boat has sailed. You already gave it up. So,
Whatever it is, they already got you. But they don't have this. They don't have this data. This has to be opt-in. Health data, financial information. No, that's
yeah,
opt-in.
yeah, I haven't. No. Okay, Dr. Tachi, go ahead.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone.
Hello.
So I am, this whole Twitter threatening to sue Meta over threads. It feels like, well, let me ask you, Terry, have they threatened to sue Mastodon or any of the other, quote, Twitter clones? Or
No.
does it seems an awful lot like sour grapes.
It is.
Now, here's the thing. The both of them are Beelzebubian. The both of them have satanic ways. Okay? So it's not the lesser of evils. They're both evil. However, Meta, as you all said, seems to have gotten something right for once. We'll see how right it goes, but it seems on the surface that something is right. Could that be it? Could he just be in his feelings because everybody is over at threads, shreds, whatever we're called, everybody's over there and calling it the Twitter killer. So rather than try and improve his product, and that is now full of deplorables, he's mad because the quote cream of the crop has abandoned him and is now over there. Do you feel that this suit is more about being salty and hurt feelings than actual having a legal ground to stand on?
It's and Dr. Tachi is absolutely 100% correct. It is sour grapes. He did not go after Spoutable. He did not go after Post. He did not go after Mastodon, any of the other Twitter alternatives. He's shaking in his boots because here comes the big bad boss in the game, coming to knock everybody out. Just the big boss battle, and they're big. So he knows it's over.
Because see, nobody else could have pulled it off. Spoutable was not going to be able to topple them, so to speak.
No, and they don't want to. Actually, Spoutable doesn't want to.
They're not trying to. Mastodon, we don't know what they're doing. And some other people, they were not coming close. Facebook, okay, I'm sorry. Meta had the tools and the team to be able to pull it off.
And the money.
And the money, right.
Oh yeah, let's not forget the money.
Right.
I think let me see on my I was trying to post a thread today, it wouldn't go through, but let me check. And I said that other guy tore it down, Meta picked it up. New vibe over here, y'all. And I got a Snoop Dogg gift. So that's what happened. Elon broke it. I say deliberately, but that's
I think so too, because I don't really think he was forced to buy it. I don't think he
was forced to buy it.
Right. And so I'm gonna just tear up the room because now that I have to buy this house, I'm gonna just tear it up. Okay.
Yeah, and it's not just Elon. Elon had a Saudi prince and Larry Ellison put in 7 to 10 billion. So there is a political faction deep into this. So people are trying to figure out why Elon is acting the way he's acting. Why is he deliberately breaking the toy? There might be a reason. I'm not going to bring it up. I'm just going to put those little things out there, but he's doing it deliberately. Also, people are saying, why would he do that? Because Mark says, put that back. Mark says, my data is so boring that all of the companies have it or giving it back.
Mark is funny.
So, I forgot my thought. Because Mark's so funny. The thing about Twitter and
You were, ta-
Elon and
you were talking about the political ramifications.
oh yes, there's a section of that. Oh, now I remember. People were saying, why would he throw away billions of dollars? Well, he has more money.
Mhm.
Also, corporate wise, it makes more sense tax wise to be a profit loss.
Than it is to be profitable.
Yes, because
Profitable.
but there's another part of it. He has some loans to a couple of banks that is problematic, but a corporation can write off its debts. All it
Mhm.
has to do is pay the interest. It can write off its debt to taxes. So he's not.
That was all the strategy.
He's not. I mean, he might be losing some sleep over the bank loans, and maybe the Saudi prince and Larry Ellison is knocking on his door saying, "Okay, wait a minute." But I mean, I'm just saying that's just a piece of the puzzle in my mind. But he's not stressed about it like we are because he has what does he have, $1 trillion?
Yeah.
He got money other places.
And Tesla is booming. Tesla stock has rebounded.
It is
He's
really
selling
booming.
those chargers to the other car manufacturers. He's not
Yep.
hurting.
No.
So take it as you will. I'm just saying, I'm trying to find out why would a businessman destroy a company like this and don't care. There's reasons.
Okay.
Dr. Tachi?
So,
I
I don't think it's that he doesn't care. Maybe he doesn't. We don't know. But
Yeah.
I keep bringing this up, and I saw evidence of this like last week in something. Like somebody on here had said something, and I was wondering, like, where would that come from? And it came down later that this individual has Asperger's syndrome. Now, that does not mean you cannot function. That and everybody's Asperger's is different. But
Yes.
for some people, it comes in the wave of lack of impulse control. And I saw it when I heard this person. I said, that's exactly why he did it. Now, again, I am not a doctor of that type. And so I'm not trying to make a diagnosis, but I'm just noticing patterns for some people when it comes to that.
Right.
Right. No, I agree with you.
That's where it comes from. Why would he tear down something that he built or that he doesn't seem to care? Maybe it's not that he doesn't care. Maybe it's because he lacks that impulse control. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The condition. And I'm not trying to put it on the condition because he's fully able to function, has more money than most people ever will in their lifetime. So I'm not giving him a pass for having Asperger's and carrying on as he does. But I'm saying there is reason behind why he does it. He just chooses not to clean it up when it happens.
Right. No, I agree with that also. I mean, and also we're just speculating. We don't know what's in his mind or medical diagnosis or how he feels. It's just like Dr. Chaji said, we put the little pieces of the puzzle together. So that's another piece.
Right.
Okay.
And we can look at Meta the same way because both of them have a team of people around them that's supposed to be giving them advice. Yeah. Whether they had listened to the advice is a whole nother matter.
Right. We can only speculate from outside of the club. I don't know what's going on inside, but it's like I see people's conversations and they're trying to figure out why he's doing this. And I'm like, I don't really care. I'm out. I left. Last year. I left.
Threads so far is like, ooh, where you can feel like I'm gonna be okay. In the sea. Yeah. I'm gonna be okay.
And I'm gonna say this again. If you don't want to use Threads, don't use it. You don't have, nobody's forcing you. It's just that happens to be the fun little hangout spot now, and it's connected to your Instagram account where you are actually selling things or whatever you're doing monetization wise. You can gently or not guide them over to that little button at the top of your profile that looks like the Instagram and it goes to Instagram. Or you could share your thoughts over to Instagram. I mean, I'm just seeing I see a lot of people mad. I'm like, nobody's forcing you to use Threads. Nobody's forcing you. Don't use it.
Here's another.
People just like to be mad. That's all.
Yes.
What
did I say earlier, friends? That we're a nation of complainers.
Right, you did.
So there you have it. So that is what's happening this week. Threads was the biggest thing ever. I didn't think it would. I knew it was going to be something big. I didn't know it was going to be this big. Everybody seems to be happy. It's a party over there for now.
Good.
for now. People are self-policing others. Like I said, I saw one of the Instagram gurus come over trying to talk about, oh, do y'all want me to show you how to sell something? And people were like, no. Like 1,000 people came out of the woodwork and told that lady no.
The door's over there, ma'am. The
So
door's
many
over there.
no's. I think the last time I saw it was like 2,000 people said no, that she deleted the thread.
Mm.
So many people told her no.
Can I really quickly say that I think that people have finally had, like, and I love what you said when you came on the live yesterday, when I was on with Touch Base Daily, and I love what you said. I should have told them to bring you on. But I love what you said, Terry, in terms of don't go over there trying to sell things.
No, but they are. Fran just said that she went to Clubhouse this morning, right? And there were several rooms about it.
Yeah.
You're already doing it. You don't know. They just debuted. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. I am tired. Can you tell I'm tired of people?
It came out
trying to. I'm tired of people and charlatans.
Yeah, there you
what
go.
You're doing. There's no way that you know enough about this new app or this new segment of an app to teach anybody anything except how to open it. You can't. You cannot. I can teach the same thing you can, and we have the same amount, unless you are somehow woven into the fabric at Meta and you have had months using this and you know you haven't. And don't act like you have. So what I'm tired of is also people, they will take people's money and then people don't see a return on investment. But first of all, that comes to you being a smart consumer. Don't give up your ducats to everybody. But also, I'm tired of you trying to defraud. Stop it.
Yeah.
What I think I said this on your live, Dr. Tade. I think I said threads is for conversation.
And we just come over here and have a conversation, like going to a coffee shop and talking with people. Stop.
Going to a party, a mixer, a network event. What do?
You talk to people
about things. And so they're gonna, I say guru's gonna guru because they smell the opportunity of making money, and some of them will catch some fish in their net, but they'll get shut down. Like I said, this lady I saw this morning, I saw her post, and it was like 1,000, 2,000 people said no. And she's a big deal on Instagram. Like she got like 250,000 whatever over on Instagram. She's a big, let me show you how to sell this and that. And she was like, oh, do you want me to talk about the sales strategy over in there? People came like formed like Voltron, came out like no. And she so bad she deleted the thread. I went back to look for the thread. It was deleted because she got so many no's. She got
listen to the people. Listen to your people. They don't want to hear, because see, on Instagram you couldn't talk back like that.
Right. And see, remember they had the broadcast. They just brought the broadcast channels to Instagram, where a page profile owner could talk to people. You could join their channel and they could send messages, but you can't respond. Well, now Threads is here where you can go over to Threads and talk, and people will respond. So I see it as a conversation tool, a conversation starter. I see it as research, but not research like take this survey. No, you just ask a question, like human to human. You ask a question and you gauge the responses.
Right.
And then that gives you an idea of what you might want to post on Instagram, what you might want to post on Facebook, what you might want to post in your stories, what you might want to put on LinkedIn or whatever platform.
Okay, so this might be your
bridge. It's a bridge.
Yeah, people, you're hearing from the village. You're hearing what the people, the man on the street has got to say about whatever it is that you're talking about.
Right. Conversationally, people to people, human to human. Not I'm coming over to sell, which that got shut down so fast. Because there's a link.
We're tired of the guy with the raincoat opening it up, talking about, you want this watch?
We're mad as heck. We're not going to take it anymore.
My name is Lenny.
My name is Lenny. And he opens his coat. Okay, that's a good time reference for everybody who doesn't know.
So, and one thing that they did right with Meta is they didn't include it in the
It was
Instagram
so
app.
simple. It was so simple. The rollout is simple. You just port your people over if you want, or you don't. You can pick and choose your choice. But the onboarding is so simple. Everything is so easy and light and fun and free for now. I don't know what it's going to be. Nobody knows where this app is going. But what I can tell you is it's the fastest growing app ever. It's on track for that,
Right.
for downloads. So
Right.
we'll see.
Okay,
So,
because we've talked about Meta and how they just don't quite get stuff. This
right.
one,
Well,
I think they got it.
they got
this
this one right. I think I'm suspecting that Zuck maybe had took his hands off the wheel on this one. And
Oh, you mean if somebody said stop it,
let the
leave them
smart
alone.
people decide what to. I'm just guessing. Like I said, I don't know. I'm not on the inside. I'm just saying it has a different feel. It has a different
really
vibe.
does.
It's organic. That's the best part about it. Now,
Right.
will it stay organic? No, because they're going to bring ads over, but not now. But ads will come because it's a meta product. Ads will come.
And because they're giving it to us for free. So, okay.
Just be ready for the ads. And the complaining about the data. Yes, every app you use takes your data. Every app. Now, the things that Jack listed, those are opt-in. You opt in to give them that information. Yep. They cannot get your financial information. You have to give that to them. They cannot get your health data. You have to give it to them. So when they ask, you say no. I'm good.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. And you're good. So there's the fear mongering. There's the man. I said, do you have a Facebook profile? You're already on the Death Star. You're already riding the Death Star. You got a WhatsApp? How many people use WhatsApp? You already in the Death Star. You use Instagram, you already in the Death Star. What's one more?
It's just out here on the side. It's in the shuttle over here on this side. It
just surprises me how many people get angry over this Threads app. I'm like, do you have a Facebook account? I know you do. You're already in. You're already in. And you and Facebook, when you first sign up at Facebook, it asks you a whole bunch of stuff, and you just remember it asks you about your books, what books you like, what movie you like, what music you like,
what school you went to, what high school, where you graduated from college.
Did you complain then? No, it was new, and you gave it up.
Just so I can be on this Facebook.
Don't complain now. So I'm saying, hey, I'm in there too. I'm like, hey, I'm already in there. Might as well join the party on this new one. See what it's about. Kick the tires, light the fire. So hey, and if you don't like it, you cannot delete the app because it will delete. It's tied to your Instagram. What I heard is you archive. And this is Adam Mosseri. I got to go double check, but he said you archive your Threads profile and it won't be seen or searched by anybody. Right.
Cool.
But you don't want to delete it because it's connected to your Instagram. So, and that's what we have so far on Threads, and that's the social media news update for the week.
And we can hear, you'll get more on Tuesday. So
we'll talk about it.
Stay tuned because Tuesday TJ will bring us some more. All right. We have the doctor in the house.
Hey everyone, how are you doing? Now, first let me lead off with the big talk is Threads. This is even in the media blogs, okay? So this is media blogs, media articles, etc. The big thing is Threads. So this is what you're hearing about overwhelmingly. So I just have a couple of things that I want to talk about that are like kind of diehard media. So first of all, let's talk about a Black Lady sketch show. And you know that is the show that features Robin Thede and a few other comedians, and it is actually ending with the 4th season. So, creator, showrunner, and writer and star of Black Lady sketch show Robin Thede issued a statement about the move, and is being characterized as a mutual decision to end on a creative high note. She says this: "Thank you all to the immensely talented cast members, guest stars, writers, directors, editors, and crew members who have made a Black Lady sketch show an Emmy-winning success. I especially want to recognize the Black women and other women of color who excelled in every department at A-Bliss." And she's also grateful for the support of Issa Rae and Jax Media, because I know Issa Rae had her hands on this as well.
Mhm.
So, a Black Lady Sketch Show received 13 Emmy nominations and 3 wins, including for the first Black woman to win directing for a variety series. That was Bridget Stokes. And their 4th and final season debuted in April and concluded in May. So they will not be coming back. So if you're a fan of a Black Lady Sketch Show, find something else to watch. You don't watch the reruns because it is ended. All right, questions, comments?
Not at this time.
No, I was just sad. That's all. Sad.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it is a sad thing, but that frees up time for Robin Thede and the cast to do other things. Because, you know, Quinta Brunson started off with Black Lady Sketch Show, and of course she is now on, help me.
Abbott Elementary.
Abbott Elementary, yes. So she's doing her own thing because she is the creator of Abbott Elementary. So she's very busy with that. And so it allows everybody to go on their own creative endeavors. And I'll say this is also a call or wake-up call, whatever, that now television has really changed. You're not going to get the shows that have been on for seasons and seasons anymore. It doesn't seem like that is the trend. If you are on for 4 seasons, you're very lucky. Very lucky. So many shows are ending after 3. There are many shows that get canceled after the first season. So the longevity in television is not like it used to be. More now than ever, you need to have several hot irons going. And that's not saying I don't care. So
real quick, Dr. Tachi, real quick. Didn't speaking of cancellation, didn't a show with The Weeknd and somebody, they got canceled like in the middle of the season, like right now, like it came out and they canceled it like right away?
I think so. I think I had heard something about that, but I don't know enough about it.
Yeah, no, because they said it was so bad that it was like I think it was Max. Is it on Max or something? It's one of those channels. I heard that it was because The Weeknd, which is a music artist, and some other people, that the show now, I don't think it was because of him. I'm just saying this show itself was like the writing or whatever was really bad, so they canceled it like right away.
I'm not surprised. I need to read the article.
Yeah, look at that. So it just came up when you were saying about canceling the seasons.
Yeah, the interesting thing is there's a whole, I don't know if you all know, I'm sure you do, but there's a whole list of things that come out. And Kevin and I, when we do the podcast, we talk about it all the time. What's being renewed, what's being canceled, and what's still on the bubble. Speaking of Kevin, here he is. I talked him into existence. So when something is on the bubble, that means it's kind of uncertain whether or not it is coming back. The show is coming back. So there's a whole list. Every Hollywood Reporter, TV Line, all of the Deadline Hollywood, they all publish something around that time when they're making decisions of what's going to come back.
So Dr. Tachi, I found it's a show called The Idol.
That's it, The Idol. Yeah.
Yes. I had heard talk about it, and I found out because on Twitter people were talking about it on Twitter how bad it was as a whole. Like it was horribly bad, like some of the scenes and things. And so I think it's been canceled like in the middle of the season. So,
well, their new tagline should have been idolatry at its worst.
No, it popped up in my mind when you were talking about shows being canceled so fast, and I think that was one that I read like recently, like this week. So just just an FYI if you want to check it out.
Yes, absolutely. I will check it out. And this is also a thing to say that simply because you have a show idea does not mean that it needs to be made. Sometimes it's really, when you have a show idea, it's not just about the idea. And I think people don't get it. It goes beyond that. It goes beyond character descriptions. It goes beyond story arcs. It's how does it start and how does it finish? almost every single writer you speak to they will tell you, I know how this is going to finish. I know how this show is going to end or how I want it to end. Does it always end up that way? Not necessarily, but you have to have a clear idea of where you're going because there's a lot involved. I mean, and that, again, I keep telling you all, I love writing, but I could not be in a writer's room because of the rewrites. I don't want to rewrite a damn thing. I want it to stand as it is and it all well because I don't want to rewrite. So I couldn't be in a writer's room because that means long nights sitting there rewriting. And no, the first time was good enough. As Sade said, never as good as the first time. So there's a lot involved in this whole thing. So we shall see what else is coming up. With that, let's keep going.
Okay.
If you are a MASH fan, now let me tell you why I never really liked MASH. It was not a show for me. I know people loved it. It was on forever. Also, MASH was indicative of when you needed to go to bed. So whenever you heard the MASH song playing, that's when you try to turn off the TV. But you're not fooling anybody. People know what you're doing. So when MASH came on, that was like, oh Lord, it's time to go to bed, and you didn't want to go. So, but Alan Alda, who was one of the stars of MASH, kept his boots and dog tags for like 40 years, and now they are. He's going to offer them up at auction. So the combat boots and the dog tags that Alan Alda wore to portray Surgeon Hawkeye on MASH meant so much to him that when the show ended 40 years ago, he kept them. Can you believe MASH ended 40 years ago?
No, I cannot.
Wow. So, but now he's ready to let them go. And this is in service of another passion, his center that's dedicated to helping scientists and doctors communicate better. Please take on more clients, Alan Alda, because they need help.
Mm-hmm.
So Heritage Auctions is offering up the worn boots and military identification tags on July 28th in Dallas. Now, Alan Alda is 87. I didn't know he was 87 years old.
Really?
But, yeah, and he said he wore the boots and dog tags for the 11th season run of the show, centering on the Korean War Medical Unit. Alda's character, Benjamin Franklin Hawkeye Pierce, was a surgeon who helped ease the stress of working in a war zone with quick quips and practical jokes. And then when the show ended in 1983, with an episode written and directed by Alda, it attracted the largest U.S. audience for any TV show in history.
Wow.
Even more than Who Shot JR?
Yes, and it was better.
So that's for those of you who don't know, that is wait, is that Dynasty or is that
Dallas?
Dallas.
Thank you. Dallas, one of those D's. That's a Dallas thing. I never liked soap operas, so those even the evening dramas did not, because I didn't like soap operas, so that didn't attract me.
Mm-mm.
But anyway, Who Shot JR? So that's interesting. So if you're interested, on July 28th in Dallas, they will be auctioning off his combat boots and dog tag that he wore for the entire 11 seasons that it was on. That's dedication, and that makes sense. Because you can't get new ones, because if you're in a war, you wouldn't have new boots and things, right? You would have what you have.
Yep.
So that's why if you look at the pictures of them, they are tired. they are just tired.
I was going to say something. Okay, it's going to come back. It'll have to come back. But I was thinking about something to do with, was it MASH? Never mind. It'll come back.
MASH or one of these. So that's okay. So if it comes back, let me know.
Okay.
Let's talk a little bit about SAG-AFTRA, the actors union.
Yes.
They have stepped up for strike preparation efforts because contract talks are intensifying. So there are 5 days to go, and SAG-AFTRA is stepping up their efforts to prepare for going on strike, even as contract negotiations with Hollywood's major studios intensify. So yesterday, SAG-AFTRA distributed a survey to its 160,000 1,000 members and alerted them that the union will be calling for volunteers to help make signs, work phone banks, distribute T-shirts, and generally support the mobilization of pickets on the streets of LA, New York, and other locations. So the email message includes a survey of members' availability to picket outside studio gates, New York offices, and other locations.
Mhm.
And Thursday's communication was part of the second part of the initial survey questions sent to members on Wednesday. So SAG-AFTRA members have already been out in full force because they're picketing alongside Writers Guild of America, who went on strike on May 2nd. It is now July. They are still on strike.
Mm.
So many rank and file SAG-AFTRA members are annoyed and fired up about issues on the table in this very difficult season of Hollywood labor relations. Contrastingly, the Directors Guild of America has ratified a new 3-year contract and a deal reached last month without much drama. But they would have been ready to strike too if so. So SAG-AFTRA has been in negotiations with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers on and off since June 7th, and the most recent contract expired June 30th. So SAG-AFTRA last week agreed to extend the time for negotiations to midnight on July 12th. So we have 5 days left.
Mm.
I'm wondering what's going to happen, but here we go. SAG-AFTRA leaders are Duncan Crabtree Ireland and Fran Drescher. And Fran Drescher said this: I just want to assure you that we are having an extremely productive negotiations that are laser focused on all of the crucial issues you told us are most important to you. And by the way, she is the president of SAG-AFTRA, in case you did not know. We're standing strong and we're going to achieve a seminal deal. So anyway, we shall see what happens with this, because it kind of took a turn, and there is a letter that they signed, endorsed by her, Meryl Streep, Jennifer Lawrence, Amy Poehler, Quinta Brunson, Laura Linney, Ben Stiller, Constance Wu, and hundreds of other signers. So, in addition to not having any shows because nobody is writing them, there's also nobody to act in them. So, studios, I need you to straighten up. I don't know what the problem is. I do know what the problem is. Money, and you don't want to give it up.
Mm-hmm.
You do not want to give it up. That's all.
Exactly.
It's good that the directors came to some agreement, but they don't have anybody to direct or anything to direct.
There is absolutely nothing to direct. So that's good that they came to an agreement, but you're still out of work too until everybody comes to an agreement. What people don't realize is the entertainment industry is not one person. There are many people that are seminal to the success of a production.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I just need for executives to stop being so greedy. I keep pointing to Netflix's Ted Sarandos with his $40 million that is on the table, that he's going to get in compensation, his compensation package of $40 million. And all, for example, that the Writers Guild was asking for was $68 million in improvements, basically. And you're giving one person $40 million, but you don't. Sad. So this is across the board. There's a lack. As much as these people make your industry, and they do, there's a serious lack of respect for what individuals connected with these productions do. And the execs need to know it's not just about you making money in your bottom line. You have to treat people right and treat them well. So, again, so final thing I want to talk about, and we talked about this on the pre-show, on the Media Scope pre-show, because we had guests this week. Have any of you watched Red Table Talk before?
I caught it.
I
when
have.
it first came out. Yes,
I have, but that was a while back. So.
I mean, it was nice. It was just a nice conversation about the people having the conversation, and they were interesting conversations, depending on the topic.
Right. Not that Jada Pinkett Smith and crew were always on point about things, because that is from their personal standpoint and their point of view. They did bring on people, but it wasn't always experts. It was just people talking about their experiences. So, anyway, the big thing was that obviously Facebook shut down Watch. And looking at the recent events of what's happening, maybe we see why. Because they wanted to put more effort into this impending new app that they have, or new segment of the app, Threads, right? So rather than putting effort into something that did not seem to be very fruitful for them. Okay, so Red Table Talk did win an Emmy. Yes, they did. I don't know if they won more than one. I know they won one Emmy. So you've got an Emmy Award-winning show there. That's good, but one show does not a quote network make. So yeah, so really, if you think about it, what else did you watch on Facebook Watch? Did anybody else watch anything on Facebook Watch?
Nope.
And we tried to get on Facebook Watch. We couldn't understand why the girl doing braids got on, and then we are having a conversation about business, and we're like, okay, I don't know what the gold standard is to be on, so whatever.
Oh yeah, same with me. I'm like, look, if nothing else, I keep people informed about media, tech, and pop culture, and I'm weekly for and you daily, right? I'm 8 years, and nothing. All right, yeah, the person doing braids can come on all day, and so that shows that they don't have their finger on the pulse of what makes great content. They just hear celebrity, or they hear this, and they're running after celebrities to make these deals. After a point, people don't really care that you're a celebrity. They care about the content. It's not about that, even if you yourself think it is. No, it's about the good content, and good content can come from anywhere. And so you may not have the inheritance factor of being a celebrity, so people follow you right away, but you can build that trust factor and the like factor with people, and then they'll pop, and then they'll follow. Look at YouTubers, right?
Right.
People who started on YouTube, people don't know them from Pim, okay? But a lot of them have, one of my favorite ones, Amber Scholl. I think she has like 3 million followers, or 3 million subscribers on YouTube. How many celebrities can say they have that on YouTube or any social platforms? Not many. So
yeah, not many.
Right?
I think Will Smith comes to mind. But that's you could probably count on your one hand the number of celebrities.
You can count on one hand. If you Beyonce, of course.
Yeah, probably Kevin. I would say Kevin Hart, maybe.
Kevin Hart, maybe. Right. But see, the fact that we can name these people, it tells you. Because if you go with some of the other ones, it's few and far in between, which is okay, but it just lets you know that the direction that entertainment is going in. We want people that we can identify with. We also want people that we can, that will speak back to us.
Yeah,
they're not going to.
And see, the thing real quick about Will Smith and Kevin Hart and people like that, they put out excellent content. Will Smith's content everywhere he goes is excellent, and it's really not. He's a celebrity, but his content was like, woo, on YouTube. Wow.
Right. Yeah. See, that's the thing. They work hard to provide content.
Yeah.
There are some people that may happen to be notables that just go on social media and they just do a live, and they think the fact that I'm here talking to you is enough. I'm tired of staying in your house. Can we get some content? Can you give me something? People want value. And at a point, the value of you being well-known wears off. So the thing I like you said about what Kevin Hart does, what Will Smith, they give content. They plan and put out content. Give me value. Don't think you're enough for me, because I don't know you.
Celebrity is not enough anymore. It's not enough. It's because they're overexposed, and we're in a place now where we want relatable people. Now, if the celebrity can be relatable, like Will Smith is relatable,
Mhm.
that's the win. But if they're celebrity for celebrity's sake, we're way beyond that. Because you could tell, and you
Exactly.
notice that Tati by the award shows, how
Uh-huh.
the
We
attendance,
are
the viewership is going down, 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 down every year because we don't care.
we're so over.
Okay.
We're over that. And yeah, we're tired of people.
Tired.
And I love, but don't get me wrong, I love celebrities. I love entertainment. I think it is amazing that you get to do what you love in terms of entertaining and informing you. I think it's fantastic. But I don't need to sit and watch you congratulate yourself for 3 hours on XYZ award show. Do that in private. Give me the fashion. Give me the red carpet show.
Mhm.
Give me the impromptu interviews. Let that be 1 hour and then go inside whatever theater and do your show. I don't need to see it.
Right.
I am good. So anyway, I said all this to say we're really talking about Jada Pinkett Smith. She's announcing the return of Red Table Talk, and she's also scheduled to release her memoir in the fall. So Meta also, shut down everything, and that included Red Table Talk. And if you didn't know, it's her mother, Adrienne Banfield Norris, and Willow, her daughter, Willow Smith, that comprise the three members of the Red Table. And so Smith says that there are exciting new developments and says the show is, quote, definitely coming back. She said to People Magazine, we've had a couple of platforms reach out to us, and we have some interesting avenues that we're looking at now. You know me, I'm always looking for the next innovative thing. That you are, miss, that you are. So she also said she has another idea that's in mind that she's excited about that will probably be happening close to the release of her book. And she's excited about the book journey as well. So the memoir is going to be called Worthy, and it's going to give fans an insight into her life's journey that she wasn't able to convey through the Red Table Talk format. She says this: so many people feel because of my talk show Red Table Talk that they know my journey, and they really don't. There's been so much about my journey that I haven't really been able to share on a format like RTT. She said the book is going to cover everything, and also says that she thinks people made a lot of assumptions. And she said, and you know what? Rightfully so. I have to take ownership of that in regards to the narrative I participated in, the falsehoods about myself. In the book, I really explain all of that extensively as part of my reclamation journey. I think a lot of people, not even just women, but a lot of us lose ourselves in narratives that are not necessarily or completely forthright. So essentially she's saying, reclaiming my time. And I'm going to allow you all to go ahead.
You ready? Okay.
Go ahead,
So
TG.
Red Table Talk, the YouTube, not YouTube, the Facebook page. She's got 10 million followers. She's got an accompanying group, Red Table Talk group, is 600K followers. So there's a market for what she has to say. It's already built. So she's right. Nobody's crying. It's just that, will people want to hear? Unless she talks about the slap, nobody's really going to be.
Nope, sorry, we are not going to be.
I'm not buying her book unless she talks about the slap. Is she going to talk about the slap?
How much is there to say about that?
Her perspective, because she's been silent.
Right, because she hasn't said anything.
We heard a little bit from Will. We heard a lot from Chris. She's the third party. So if she doesn't talk about the slap in here, only people that care is the 10 million that follow her page and the 600K ladies, mostly ladies in her group that care. So that's my thought. Okay,
so let me ask this question. So Dr. Tachi, is the Red Table Talk coming back to Facebook?
It's not coming back to Facebook.
Oh, okay, because I was getting ready to say.
I don't know where it's going, but
if she was smart, it'd be YouTube.
Different places that have reached out and I guess they're weighing their options of what to do now. So again, the product, as Terry said, the product is already made. She's already got Facebook groups. They're already things
cooked.
that are built out. So it's just a question of where to go and who offers the money they want.
Well, but see, what the thing is, she goes to YouTube, she'll have the money will follow because she already have the subscriber count and everything that she needs. Because I would follow her over to YouTube first before I would go to
channel.
Facebook.
I said YouTube, but here's another idea. She could do her own network. Like Kev on Stage has his own app and his own thing.
Right.
She could do that.
With her own followers.
With her own money, her own following, because those people, they're on Facebook, they'll go wherever she tells them to go.
Mm-hmm.
She can do YouTube, but they'll go wherever she tells them to go. So, I mean, I don't know what they're thinking of, what she's thinking of, because, you know, like Dr. said, she hasn't really said where. So we'll see. But I'm just saying, me, if I was advising her, I would tell her to do Red Table Talk, the app.
Right.
And that she could get she could get brands, women-based brands, women-based products to pay.
Right.
Ads.
It sells itself. There's very little work she has to do. They have a production company. So they could absolutely launch and they're producing other things. Remember, there was with Gloria Estefan, the daughter and the niece, they had Red Table Talk and Espanol. No, it wasn't in Spanish, but but it was a Red Table Talk with that.
Right.
So and see, she could do the app, and you just gave me some more ideas. She could do the Red Table Talk app, and it's women centered. However she wants to center, it's definitely women centered. But however she wants to define the silos, she could bring in other content creators, women talking about their stories, talking about their business, talk about this, talk about that. See, she could make her own world. It's already made. It's just like I mean, and again, I don't know what she's thinking. I don't know what kind of people she's got telling her. Yes, you need to be on YouTube. Yes, you need to be on Facebook. Yes, you need to be everywhere, but draw them to your house.
Right. And the like you were talking about, she's looking for somebody to finance like old school television, pick up the show. That's not
we're not in that world anymore.
Exactly. And that's the whole thing. So what you're saying, Terry, about I believe in that. You know, I believe in starting your own.
That's what things are going when you have an audience. Yeah.
But not a lot of Hollywood thinks very old school. They don't know very much about streaming. They don't know very much about new media technology. All they know is the Hollywood system of I make this show, I pitch it, it gets picked up, or I make this show, I try and sell it, it gets picked up, and then it gets on a network on TV. Or people say TV. Okay.
Yeah, they're looking at the check.
That's the old school way of doing things. It's still salient. It still matters. There's still room for that. But the majority of people are not going to be able to get it that way. And that's why I always just look at and just shake my head at people.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, they're not going to take you. I can say as somebody who has pitched shows and waiting, and you may get a little bit of promise, and then it's nothing because they don't know you. You know, and then for me being digital, they really don't know what the hell to do with digital. So when I went to pitch, I went to 3 people, they didn't know what the hell to do with Media School. But we don't really deal with digital. But I'm like, a whole company, and you don't deal with digital? I just look at them like, so sad. You won't be around long if this is going to be your thought process. So, you know, they really think very old school, and this is not to tear them down, but they think old school, and it's going to hurt them, including the actors and things that want to get into the production end of it. You've got to look at the other end of it. It's not just It's very frustrating. But yeah,
Here's another while you're talking, Dr. Tachi, my mind is racing. So I'm thinking also, because Facebook paid her for this, does she own Red Table Talk, the brand, or is it partnership?
Mhm.
That could be another thing that could keep her from.
I think if I am not mistaken, I know they probably own Red Table Talk, the brand.
More than likely.
Then that explains it.
Just licensed it out. They don't own it. There's no way they would have given up ownership of Red Table Talk.
See, that's stupid. I'm gonna say it.
That matter.
I'm gonna say it. That's
in ownership. Sorry, go ahead, Gary.
No, I'm gonna say it. It was a dumb move to give away her IP, because look what she built.
Okay, Dr. Tachi, did you say she gave it away, or does Facebook not own it?
Facebook doesn't. I don't know for sure, but I'm almost 99% sure that she did not give. There's no way. There is no way that they're too smart in terms of business people. They have their own production company. That is IP or intellectual property. There's no way you give that up to somebody like Facebook. No, and not even just Facebook. They're not giving that up. So I hope so. She still owns the rights.
I hope so. I hope so. I really do. But here's the thing. Piggybacking on that, if Facebook does own, say, more than 50% of it, depending on the deal she structured, she could do a bridge from this group to a new brand. It's doable, but it's like, do you want to do it? It's doable. I'm just saying, I don't know. We don't have all the backgrounds of who owns what, but she's got an audience, eyeballs in this group, and she could say, hey guys, we're doing a new iteration. And don't even say we're doing new conversations. Let's go over to women empowerment table. You know what I'm saying?
Right, whatever it is.
And port some of those people over. Now, everybody won't come over, but I'm just saying, in case she doesn't own like all of it to make the decisions. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out.
I doubt she would have given any ownership to Facebook. They're not a production company. They don't know. This is what the thing is. Her and Will Smith's production company, I'm sure they produced it. They shopped it around. They retained the ownership rights. And because they would never do that, because look now, they're sunsetting Red Table Talk. If they owned it and decide we're not doing anything else with it, there's nothing they could do about it. They would just have to go rebrand. But they're too smart of business people to have let the rights go for that. So I'm almost certain they own the rights to Red Table Talk. And they were just being licensed. Their content was just being licensed by.
Okay, good.
And then the other thing I was thinking is they need to make a move quickly, because out of sight, out of mind. People are going to forget and go get something else and think about something else if they don't make a move.
Yeah, you don't want to be too slow on the draw.
Exactly. I mean, like you said, out of sight, out of mind. I think, to be honest, I'm not trying to be funny, but I don't remember how many seasons Red Table Talk has been on. Had it been 3 already?
More than 3, maybe 3, maybe 4. I'm not sure.
Sorry, go ahead.
I know 3, maybe 4. I'm not sure, because like I said, I stopped watching and following. I think it was 3.
Which in this day and age is coming to the point of when you start questioning whether or not this show is coming back. So even though Red Table Talk, they still think with the Hollywood mindset, remember? They're still thinking Hollywood mindset. And so do some people. So since people now have been trained to, after 4 seasons, if you're lucky, something goes away, people may not, especially if they take a long hiatus, people may be like, okay, I'm over that. And then the next new hot thing is already in, and here you come with your raggedy red table again, and nobody wants to see it. So, like you said, they have to do it sooner rather than later before the red varnish wears off of that table.
Okay, so I found out they have 5 seasons, Dr. Tachi.
5 seasons. Okay. Yeah, already they're going to wear out their welcome. If they come back, they have to come back with. They can't come back the same. They have to come back with hard hitting topics. They have to come back. When you take a hiatus like that, people are like, okay, but it's not their fault. But when you take a hiatus like that, when you come back, people are expecting miracles. They're expecting all sorts of transformation. So if it doesn't come and it's, like I said, the same old raggedy table, and now that base is wobbly, people aren't going to be there for that. So
okay, so she real quick, she's doing a book tour. The book comes out October 17th. She's doing a book tour. And like I said, if that book doesn't have a chapter called The Slap, I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it real. Like Dr. Taji said, people are not interested anymore in celebrities. The interest level is going down. They got to be quick on the draw, and that book better have a chapter called The Slap.
Because somebody's going to buy the book just for that chapter.
Yeah, people who are not in her in the women's sphere that she has with Red Table Talk. People outside of it that know about The Slap. They might not know her, but they know about The Slap. So they're going to buy that book and watch her new thing. That's the tie-in. And if she doesn't talk about it, which she hasn't, the smart thing is to talk about it. And I hope it's in this book.
I think she's trying to get away from it and move past it, which is
that's the wrong move. That's talk about it and move on. Talk because she's the third party and we haven't heard her voice. So smart, I'm saying marketing, attention, smart wise, draw people in, get them interested. And I'm not saying be salacious. I'm just saying tell it from her truth. Like, this is my truth. This is how I felt. This, that kind of thing. Not being salacious, because we've all talked about it. I'm just saying to mention it, have a chapter, and it's about her genuine feelings.
Right, because everybody else is telling the story about what she may be feeling and whatever, but she never said it.
This is a tie. This is a tie-in for interest. It will get picked up. It will get if the chapter is there. She doesn't have to talk about it. It's in the book. The media will pick it up, and you talk. That's how you know what I mean. The story will run. It will have so many legs, and people will run out and get this thing and watch her show and this and that.
Interviews, the whole thing.
Yes. And it doesn't. I'm not saying she has to be a salacious telling. Just her.
People who care, and there are going to be people who like me who don't give two damns.
I don't care. I don't care. I'm saying from a marketing strategy.
Yeah. Well, it remains to be seen what she does with her marketing strategy and what's in the book, because I don't have an interest in reading it, like me myself. Because I'm not necessarily, she's nice enough and all, but it's not like I was, oh my gosh, I'm the biggest Jada Pinkett Smith fan.
You have followers.
That's what I'm saying, but I wasn't really a fan, so I'm not going to, simply because there's some controversy out there, now go and buy it, because I'm not really a big fan anyway. Again, not that she's not a cool person. I'm just not like a fan,
Right.
So,
no, I'm not. I got interested because I look at it from a marketing PR and how she ran her group, and her group is big. It's a dedicated fan Facebook group. Most Facebook groups die off. She's got people actively in her corner. And I'm not even talking about Facebook. I'm talking about social media.
Right.
There are some Black women that are heavily invested in her. So that's why I was saying, like, she's got the group. How does she want to grow it? Which way does she want to go? My suggestion is to talk about it in the book, have a chapter to get it out the way, and let the media run with the story, and she doesn't have to say anything about it. Right. That's how I see it. But they're doing their thing. She can do whatever she wants. So
yeah. Well, that's what I have for you all today. Like I said, media is basically inundated with threads. Yeah. So this is what I have for you today.
Yeah. Speaking of threads, one thing before we end, because I went to threads while we were talking. Hold on. Oh, I got the Red Table Talk. Get on out of here. Okay, Zuck. Zuck on threads says 70 million signups on threads as of this morning, way beyond our expectations. He posted this an hour ago on threads. So
that's 2 days.
Yeah, tonight will be day 2. The end of it, because it was Wednesday night. Yeah. So, and there you go. So that was the talking media. That was the talking social media. They're going to talk about it for a while. So there's people that still haven't, heard of threads, or haven't paid attention, or haven't going to investigate.
So all of the people on YouTube who has been talking about how you can get paid with ChatGPT and are now all flocking over to Thread.
That's right. That's right.
It's a time.
It's kind of like regular news. If you know, this is not bleeding or anything, but the news cycle changes so fast.
Well, Twitter is bleeding, so they use that.
Oh, okay. So there's something bleeding.
Yeah, they got they're promoting the fight, the whole thing.
Yeah. So there you have it.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in to this week in tech life history, or this week in tech. We're here every Friday so that you can keep up to date on the latest in tech, media, and social media. We want to say thank you for taking the time to spend with us. You could have been anywhere else on the planet, but you are here, and we do thank you and appreciate you. Dr. Tachi, thank you.
Thank you, Doug.
TJ, thank you. Terry, thank you. We will be back on Monday with coffee, tea, thoughts, and conversations. TJ will be here Tuesday. I'm sure she's going to have more on what's happening in the world of social media. I'll do tell and do tune in and become a part of BizChicks by going to bizchicks.net. It doesn't cost you anything to do that. Or you can text biz to 33777. Text biz to 33777 or bizchicks.net. We're happy to have you a part of our community. Looking forward to next week. We'll be right back here on Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and 11 a.m. on the East Coast. And with that, we want to say thank you. And remember, we're here to help you take the hassle out of your hustle so that you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. And we will see you next week.
Bye-bye, everyone.